guess that's how they do it. I see people clap it. I don't know. Try to synchronize the stuff. Okay, let's try this. And okay. Buongiorno, my friends. Buongiorno. This is Naked Bike Mike, back with you again. The whole new setup, whole new deal going on here that we are working on. Have no idea how it's going to work, but we have a GoPro session over here. Slow down, it's telling me. Okay. GoPro session, and we got the GoPro Hero here. I changed the mounting of my camera to a different location to try to have a different perspective and different helmet, because I wear the AX8 AGV typically when I do these stuff so I can talk. But I changed it up, and I have a microphone going to a voice recorder instead of directly into the GoPro, and I have no idea how it's gonna come out. This is the test run. The test run in this setup. So we'll see. Could be garbage. Won't be any much worse than the normal stuff anyway. So the last couple times I went out, my chin vent was cracked on the AX8, so all you heard was wind noise when I got over like 40 miles an hour, so it was just garbage. The time before that, I had the camera mounted too low, or not mounted, but it was just angled down, so all you saw was road. Couldn't really see where I was going, so it looked stupid. So I figured that was garbage, and so we got this, and we'll see how it comes out. I'm anxious to see. Hopefully it's worth doing something. I don't know, am I recording on that one? Did I start recording? That's the one thing that's kind of messed up with having multiple systems. I don't know if I'm recording on it or not. I know my session is. I don't know if the Hero is down there. I guess the next time I stop, I'll find out. We'll have something to support something. I talked with my, going back and forth messaging my Mr. Desmo, who's telling me he's got 25 or 30 cameras mounted on his new Multistrada that he just got a few months ago, or whatever. He's gonna be like what is the Francis Ford Coppola or Steven Spielberg. He's got so many cameras on his bike. It's gonna be like a too much footage. I find even trying to splice together two is a pain in the ass. I can't imagine having 4. I'm gonna have to pull over here because maybe I can stop. See if my other camera is recording. I don't know if it is. I'm getting all distracted. I'm not downshifted. I'm just trying to stop. I can tell. Let's do this. I don't know. That's the problem. bring it back. I'll pull over here, make it easier instead of struggling with all this. Let's see, I'm gonna wing it back. I just started it. Okay. So let's do this again to synchronize what we got going on. I don't know how you do it, but a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. And I got a car coming, so I gotta wait for that one to get out of the way. It's a cruise! And it starts. Where'd that guy go? So the plan today is to ride up the Mount Hood area. And see what we got to see. Go this way. Today is the Moto Corsa track day up at PIR, which I could not make this week, this time. I might do the night one in a month or so. I think it's in July, 2 months. I might do that one. But today would be a perfect day, I think, the weather-wise, to do a track day, and I kind of feel like I'm missing out, but it's okay. There will be other days, my friends. I don't know what to talk about here. That's always the struggle. I mean, you talk about stuff, what to say, what to do. This is a year, I got a year under my belt with this bike, even though the majority of it, or the better part of the year, it was in the shop being repaired from my stupidity, or whatever you want to call it. So I just actually have been on it. I've ridden it more miles since I've gotten it back than the first few months I had it last year. So it's been a full year, calendar year, since I've owned it. 2,007 miles on the odometer. It's due for its yearly whatever the thing is. It's got a little reminder on the dash telling me, okay, I'm 14 days past due on the yearly check. And the way I look at it is I really don't want to worry about it, I don't think, because even though it's been a year, it hasn't really been a year. It's been more like 6 months. So I'll put it off until the riding season is over, or I'll find out, you know, how long they can get it done. If it takes it too long for them to have it, I will hold off. So just kind of cruising along here, my friends. Nothing too spectacular. Even though it is the perfect time, there's like no traffic out here. Last time I was on this road, I tried to do a video and I had nothing but cars and semis and all that. It wasn't a fun time. We're just, you know, going tires aren't even probably warmed yet, so just a little cool out. I think it's about 50 degrees. Overcast. This actually feels very nice, very comfortable for my body. Definitely feel a lot better now, being back on the bike for 1,000 miles or so since the incident. The anxiety is leaving my body. A lot more comfortable I had been, because I don't know if this is straight down here, bouncing around. What else to talk about? I don't know. We got the setup, talked about that, the bike back. For anybody, are you guys interested in my my recovery of myself? I'm very close to 100% with my leg. It's still stiff, my knee. Certain bends I can't. I'm still working on the full squat to be able to do that without discomfort. But overall, on and off, all in all, overall, I can't complain. Feels there's a dead rabbit or something. It's not too bad, considering all things. Could be a lot worse, so I'm grateful for that. Going this way, take the back way to. It's actually chilly. When I left the house, I felt a little stuffy, like it was going to be uncomfortable. But now I'm getting cold. I don't know. It's a tale of two weathers. I'm just kind of hoping that this camera deal is going to work out, at least for this ride. So this thing, you know, you go out, every time I go ride I want to document it. I don't know, to me I just feel like I want to have it. For several reasons, just saying. It's like a therapy in a way. You're talking to yourself. You kind of feel like you feel like you're talking to somebody, even though you're not at the moment. I mean, I'm sure eventually there'll be a couple people listening to this gibberish. So but it's a therapy, I think. Turn up here and head up towards that way. Oh, it's the vehicles. But yeah, it is to me. I feel kind of like I'm talking to somebody other than myself. They'll pull out. Going right into the sun. And I don't know if this thing is closed. Are a little messed up because I bumped them in the garage, trying to get back to where they were. Come on, get in a little bit. Get in a little bit. You had to pull out in front of me. You couldn't wait for me to go by. Because I am invisible. Yesterday went to the ape caves, the lava tubes, up in, like, I guess it's Cougarish, Washington, Mount St. Helens area, National Forest. Pretty cool, man, it's pretty cool. My problem was there was 2 school buses full of kids there, which is not really the problem, it's just I don't mind the children. They chose to go to take the difficult. There's 2 different caves. There's one that's kind of easy. It's a little short, but it's easier to do, to traverse. The second one is, I think it's a couple miles long, and there's inside. Some of it's flat-ish, but then you have all these, you know, lava rock formations that you have to get over and climb, and it's dark. There's no light in there, so you have, you know, headlights on or whatever, flashlights, lanterns, whatever light source you feel like carrying. So you got to climb through all that stuff, and you got these kids that are, and it's not so much the kids, I think. There were some teachers, chaperones, and whatnot that got blinded by the sun. That were, you know, I'd be politically correct here, they were a little bit larger than the average person, so it was harder for them to climb up over. There's one spot where there's like an 8-foot wall where you have to get over it, and it's not too hard. It's got a couple of spots that you put your feet in, you know. It's like rock climbing, and if you're in decent shape, or, you know, somewhat, this sucks, somewhat in shape or whatever, or flexible, you can get over it. Even me with my bum leg and knee, I got up over it, no problem. And then there's another spot where it's similar. There's like a big rock in the way, you gotta climb over it, and it's tight, but it's not, you know, super difficult. But if your girth is a little bit larger than normal, or average, I would say, not normal, average, to be politically correct, not to offend people. I mean, it's harder to get through, and it's just a fact of life. It's just what it is. I mean, I'm not spewing garbage here. I don't know if you can see Mount Hood. It's coming up over the hill here. I can see it. A little bit of haze around it. Hopefully you can see it. So they get stuck. On the first wall, one gets stuck. So it's got a bottleneck of, you know, 60 to 100 people waiting to get through, just standing there in the middle of this dark cave. And nobody's moving. We kind of find out that, or after the fact, that there's people coming the other direction, which is, I mean, it's not really one set direction, but it makes sense. You park your car, you get, walk up the hike, a little bit of a hike, not too far, and then you go down into the lava tube, and you walk up it. It's kind of going uphill in a way. You don't really notice it. You come out the other end, and then the hike back to where you parked is downhill, which is not too bad. Some people chose to go the opposite direction, and when they're coming the other way, and there's like a bunch of people trying to go through this one little spot where only one person can fit at a time, it just creates, a big mess of humanity. And it's not great. So I'm not talking about that. I suggest, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, to check it out. The lava tubes, Ape Cave, whatever you want to call it, up by Mount St. Helens, and make sure you go when there's no school buses there, because otherwise it'll be not as enjoyable. Because if you get, I guess if you get claustrophobic, you're not going to go in there, which is kind of weird. It was kind of strange for me, because there was one point where I got a little claustrophobic. I mean, I'm not super great in super tight spaces, but I'm not hard. I mean, I'm not too bad with them. But there was a spot in the cave where you're going forward, and speed limit here is 25, I think. Going forward through the cave, and it gets tighter and tighter into a smaller spot, and then it's little. I felt a little anxiety there, I would say. There was a point where I was like, oh, whew, this is pretty tight here. My chest got a little tight. Then it opened back up and I was okay. But there was about 5 minutes where I was in that mindset where you're like, oh, I'm gonna turn around and get out of here. Somebody get me out of here. The problem is I'm halfway into it, so there's really no good way to get out of there. You can't just walk out the top. You gotta go back where you came or go forward. So I just went forward, finish it. Ooh, I'm getting chilly now. It's colder than I thought it was gonna be. That's okay. Once this haze goes away, hopefully it'll clear up. It'll warm up a little bit. I'm just asking like for 5 degrees. Nothing too drastic. Nothing too crazy. I checked my phone earlier. It said it was 40 degrees where I'm going. What else we want to talk about? So with that, my friends, I'll do a quick outro, like I'll piece it in later, because I always forget, or sometimes forget, and it gets missed, and it just looks stupid without one. in my opinion. I can't tell if this camera is causing the drag or not. I can't even tell if it's straight still. Hopefully it is. So with that, my friends, I will say thanks for watching. Click the like button, click the subscribe, watch some more. I'll try to do more of these things, depending on how they turn out. I'll post them. If not, you won't see it. So I try not to put this, I know it's already garbage, so I don't want to put too bad, because then, you know, people don't even, like, they watch it one time and they watch my latest stuff, and if it's really bad, they'll be like, ah, screw this guy, and they'll never come back. So I'm trying it, you know. Give me that, man. I'm trying a little bit. I don't have all this big production, you know, camera trucks follow me around. I'm by myself with the GoPro. How good do you think it can be? Come on. I got a job, man. Full time. Overtime, all that stuff. I don't got time to be putting together, you know, highly polished vlogs. Come on, man. Give me a break. Everything's getting frosted over with this mist. So with that, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. You know, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked it, like it. We'll see you next time, hopefully, right here, the Nickelback Mike. Arrivederci, ciao, and goodbye. Goodbye 3 times for you. We'll see you later. And that's it. And that's a wrap.